So they have bring in like a quart bottle. It's supposed to be the open intox and everything had evaporated out of it.
All I have with regard to the bottle is the video of him holding it.
Yeah, and so they don't see, they'll take a picture of it.
Right.
Or OUIL open intox in file 24-96. Mr. Schuler is here with his lawyer, James Mequio. It seems like this matter also got adjourned a time or two. Mr. Schuler is charged in 24-96 with operating while intoxicated as a second offense. Open intox and failing to report an accident. Good afternoon, Mr. Mequio.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Also present is Melissa Halleck from the prosecutor's office. I'll defer to you, Ms. Halleck, first. What's the status here?
Well, I'm not sure, Your Honor. I emailed an offer to Mr. Mequio. I did not hear back from him. So I guess.
That's true, Your Honor. I wanted to speak with the client today. I believe there's some issues on the OWI I'm still investigating, so I'm hoping to get either an adjournment on that or sometime set it for trial and see if I can work it out before trial date. But so the OWI is still kind of pending, but we are prepared to finish the distributing the peace case today and proceed to sentencing.
Okay. We are also looking at Mr. Schuler for sobriety card. I've known him since he was a kid. He had several MIPs, maybe 4 previous OUIL. And did you once crash a boat while you were drunk? Somebody, I thought it was you, might be one of your.
No, wrong one. I know we're a tight knit group in Sturgis.
No, but they crashed a jet boat into a house on Klinger Lake.
Oh, no, unfortunately not me.
All right, well, fortunately,
Well, that's what unfortunately, sorry.
it was a Schuler, but apparently it wasn't you. Anyway, you and I have known each other for a long time. This also happened some time ago. It happened in December of 2023. The disturbing the peace happened in August of 23, and it happened in part because your girlfriend didn't want you to drive while you were drunk, and you ended up kicking the door in and knocking the phone out of her hand. And you got a long history of alcohol issues and not dealing very well. And so maybe this isn't a sobriety court case, but we'll set that one for trial. And then we'll deal with the disturbing the peace. How are you for either June 12th or June 26th?
What is her due date?
That'd be right around June 20th. We don't know if she's gonna go over or.
Oh, you have a baby due there?
Yes, that's my only. Right around June 20th would be the actual due date, but with hers, they're thinking it might be earlier, especially the way it's looking.
What are the issues with is they found him later walking down the railroad tracks?
They did, Your Honor, and in all honesty to both parties, my client was found with a smallish, I think, half pint of Jim Beam in his pocket. And my client indicates to me that after the accident is when he drank the Jim Beam as opposed to before he was driving. So I'm trying to flesh out the possibility of the time.
Well, those are the two best. If one is I wasn't driving, and the other one is I drank after the accident.
Right.
That now has a name that I won't use here.
Not sure what that is, but I'll be glad to hear about that later. But it was, yeah, I think I looked at the videos. I think that's what my client expressed to the police also, but it was kind of a garbled conversation, so it's hard to sort it out. I want to speak to my client very carefully about the OWI. I think sobriety court is still something we should look at if my client ultimately agrees that perhaps he had something to drink before also. And then
all right, well, let's
move from there.
Who do we have for witnesses from the prosecution?
Oh, my goodness. Let me file, I believe.
I don't remember seeing one. Let me double check.
Oh, that's because, yeah, after reviewing all of the video evidence as well as some of the eyewitnesses that were at the scene that saw the accident were not in my file. I had a conversation with Officer Wired 2 days ago, requesting the 911 call, an interview of the person that did call 911 was not in the file. I watched the video, believed that what the defendant had was actually a shooter, a smaller thing of alcohol. And at scene, I looked at dispatch for the accident compared to when his blood draw was. His blood draw wasn't until almost 2 hours later, and he was still a 0.16. So if he's alleging he only drank that small shooter of Jim
Well,
Beam,
he'll either gonna have to decide whether he wants to plead
Right.
or run the.
So I
rapids.
may
In
have
fact, that information that you were just speaking is what I was looking for, because there was no indication.
Well, and
of-
it's frustrating, and
no
welcome to
witnesses, yeah.
the current world we're in.
Yeah.
You know, this is March or April, almost May. This happened in
Yeah.
December. You still can't get the information. They're not sometimes very conscientious in the investigation.
I had made a phone call last week, an email to Sturgis to try to get at least the 911 call. I noted there could have been up to 3 eyewitnesses and they had not been interviewed, and I requested that. When I looked at what the defense was as far as drinking after the accident.
Who do you have for witnesses?
So I would have Officer Josh Wired, Officer Noel,
Slow down.
sorry. Officer Noel Jimenez.
He keeps claiming I called him Noel Hernandez,
Mhm.
but so now I just do just to.
Called Hernandez.
Jimenez is his name. Who else?
The toxicologist Bethany Bionnet.
Last name?
Bionnet, Beannett.
Okay.
And then I would have possibly Officer Stuck was an eyewitness. He was at the scene, observed some things as well. And then according to the police report, the 911 person that called is an Ariana, Ariana. And I don't have a last name. I have a phone number. It's in the police report that was provided to the defense. That's one of the persons that Mr. Wired is going to be interviewing.
He also was treated by medical people at the scene. Are they?
Yeah,
That was kind of after the scene of the accident, after the police
right.
had him.
Well, this isn't a surprise. I'm gonna ask this question every time. So was there a blood draw?
Yes,
Do you have those people?
I don't have them listed. One moment.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 21 days to file a witness list. And then exhibits, we're gonna have video evidence, 911 call, MSP lab report, anything else?
No,
Probably the bottle they found in his pocket, the empty bottle,
Well, I
if
do
they
have a-
have it, but or photographs of that anyway, yeah.
they don't have it.
In the old days, they used to, I talked about this the other day, you and I go back far enough, they would seize the open intox and then they put it in that, and it would evaporate.
Oh,
And so they'd have bring in like a quart bottle, it's supposed to be the open intox and everything had evaporated out of it.
All I have with regard to the bottle is the video of him holding
Well,
it.
Yeah, and so they don't see, they'll take a picture of it.
Right.
Yeah, and testimony from the officers to what it was.
I had a guy who shall remain nameless, bless his heart, he's passed away. Him and another guy were out drinking in the country. And they were in a Jeep. And they got MIP tickets. They were over age, but they got MIP tickets. And the police report says, I poured out the beer and gave them each an MIP ticket. And the guy came in and said, yeah, he didn't tell you, he poured the beer inside my Jeep.
Oh, no.
He poured
Really?
it, he poured it on the floorboards
Nice
of their
guy.
Jeep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that officer shall also remain nameless, but I think everybody involved in that has passed away. He said, you know, it was like an open top, you know, Jeep, probably not, he poured it on the floor. Anyway,
Street justice.
yes, I guess. Mr. Schuler, you need to figure out whether you get on the bus or off of it. This already is December. We're now in almost May. You've had several previous probations that didn't go well. You've had a lot of alcohol incidents, some felony issues. And so I don't want to drag you kicking and screaming into sobriety court. If you want to come in, fine. If you don't, we got other options. But this case is going to need some work before we set it for trial. And I apologize, I would use June 12th. That may be too far. And June 26th. I hope that if it is your due date, we can accommodate that, but I want to go with a target date.
Yeah, those should work for my calendar, Your Honor.
And do you have any witnesses?
Not at this time. It would only be possibly the defendant, if any. But I will file a witness list, within 7 days of receiving the prosecutors. I think once you get your witness statements, it'll be very easy, be very helpful. Yeah.
It would have been nice.
And Melissa, I do realize every time you pick one of these files up, they're new to you.
Yeah,
You've inherited a lot of these cases, and as they come up, then you look at them and see maybe things that need to be done. But it sounds like you've been proactive in contacting the officers and trying to get things that need to be done.
yeah.
One of the problems is they never go to trial. So the officers never get cross-examined by some vigorous lawyer like James Mecrio. Why didn't you do this, this, and this? And it is really a learning experience for the officers. They get up there in front of a jury and they're saying things like, why didn't you do this? Mr. Mecrio and I had a trial. He was with Mr. George. It was a vehicular death case.
Yeah.
And there were just some little things that the officers could have done that would have made our life a lot easier. Like
Right.
take some pictures of, why didn't you take a picture of this? Take a picture of this, which would have taken them 2 seconds. But again, after they got cross-examined on it, I think they probably took a picture of it the next time, but all right, we'll shoot for June 26th at 8:30. If the matter can be resolved before that, great. If not, we can have a trial. But and
The information requested should help us, I think, resolve some of those issues.
Yeah, those were the people I kind of were hoping to be able to identify or find whoever called the police. And
Yeah, and there's a phone number.
yeah,
all right, Mr. Schuler, I'll give you the same advice I gave the last guy, which if you want to get into sobriety court, you should start attending AA or other support groups. And to show some sincerity about wanting to do the program. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, now we got to do the other case, which is the disturbing the peace. This was several months before this one. This incident occurred on December 15th. On August 22nd, the defendant was struggling with his alcohol issues at that time. he was fighting with his girlfriend. Is this the same girlfriend that's about to have the baby?
Yes, she's actually my fiance.
Okay. And she didn't want you to drive because you were drunk, and you got mad and you left, and then you kicked in the door and you broke her phone. They dismissed everything but a charge of disturbing the peace. So the felonies were dismissed, the others were dismissed. You pled to that back in March. Trying to determine how much jail credit you got. You got arrested on December 15th.
Remember how long you were in jail?
He posted bond on
I believe
December
I just sat for
16th.
like a day.
I think he spent one day in jail.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Posted a $600 bond. Mr. Mecrio represented that the door had been paid for and the phone had been paid for.
Yeah, we have proof of that. Those things have been removed.
And I continued to see if I got any input from the complainant, Taylor, per saying, I haven't received anything.
No,
She was hoping to be here today, Your Honor, except her children are now sick with some sort of bug, so she couldn't make it into court this afternoon. The only thing I could tell you is that I'm informed that she's still very supportive of Brady. They're still living together, waiting for the birth of their third child, and I don't think she's interested in any severe punishment at this time, Your Honor.
Or anything else you'd like me to know?
Yes, Judge, I've had a number of conversations with Brady, and I think he agrees that he has to do something to address his alcohol, and he's indicated he stopped drinking, but my advice to him is he's going to need some help to continue that. Not everyone can maybe stop drinking for a little while, but the stress of a new baby coming, and when a new baby comes, there's going to be 3 times the stress he's under now.
How many other children are there?
I have 2.
How old
I
are
have
they?
a 3-year-old that's about to be 4, and then I have a 1-year-old. That's got a full head of teeth already, and
That's
how to
very,
talk.
that's very hard.
Yes.
That's what you just described is very hard. And add a newborn to that mix. And are you working someplace?
I'm just filling out applications. I've been doing interviews. I've been trying to do everything,
When did you last work?
but right before my accident. And then I lost that due to my car being totaled, and I didn't have a ride to work.
So you haven't worked since December?
No, I have not. But I filled out job applications around me. I've been riding my bike. I don't really have anybody to give me rides or anything, so I'm going out filling job applications on a bike, doing what I can. Just nowhere's not really hiring. They don't have enough people to either keep a shift, or they don't want to open another shift up.
Yeah, there's jobs out there, just knowing where to go. And you need to be able to get there. All right, the doors, were you on her lease? She was at Cato, so is she living
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, she's living there.
And
I
you
kind
live
of
at
stay
Frank-
and help with the kids, and then I go back to my mom's.
Which is on Franklin Road?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's probably not enough help, but it's better than none at all.
My client's mother is also very active. In fact, she's present in the courtroom today too.
Yes. Well, he doesn't owe me any money. I have $600 of bond. Let me look at that bond. I think it was a 6,000 10% bond. That's what it looks like here.
Did you go through bondsman or through the
Yes.
court?
I
Bondsman must
believe
have
we
been.
went through a bondsman with both.
No, this was cash money.
Oh,
No, that would be the time my brother, yeah. I couldn't remember.
cash.
1 day jail credit, 1 day, $100 fine. $75 crime victims' rights fee, and a $50 state minimum fee, $225. Out of a $600 10% bond. I hate to give money back. I'm not gonna apply it to the new case. I'm gonna return it. Your family probably needs the money. Plus you borrowed it from your brother. All right, Mr. McRae, I'll give you that file. You can take your client out to the counter, get some of his money back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In the meantime, you guys can work on the
Yeah, I'll get you.
other case. Just a minute, I'll shut the record off and I'll tell you what I was referring to. Senor Juarez Petlan, you've been charged with operating while impaired
Señor Juárez Petlán, usted enfrenta el cargo de conducir con las facultades disminuidas
and operating without a valid operator's license in your possession.
y conducir sin tener una licencia vigente a su poder.
Sí,
Yes.
Let's take a look at your ticket.
Vamos a echar un vistazo a la multa.
ok.
Okay.
Who wrote this ticket? You
Dice
got
que-
stopped on April 5th
Le pararon el 5 de abril
at Mankey Road near Frank Jones Road.
en la
Sí.
calle Mankey cerca de la Frank Jones.
That's near the dairy farm. Do you work at the dairy farm?
Esto
Sí.
está cerca del rancho de vacas. ¿Usted trabaja ahí en el rancho de vacas?
Sí,
This was about
I do.
11:30 at night.
Fue como las 11:30 de la noche.
sí,
Yes.
It says your blood alcohol was 0.152.
Dice que la concentración de alcohol en la sangre estaba a .152,
which would qualify you to be charged with operating while intoxicated.
que significa que usted pudiera enfrentar el cargo de conducir en estado de ebriedad.
But the officer charged only operating while impaired.
Pero el oficial solamente puso que usted estaba conduciendo con las facultades disminuidas.
And he also charged you with no license in possession.
Y también puso el cargo de que usted no traía una licencia encima,
Even though you don't
Ajá,
have a
no la
driver's
traiga.
license.
aunque usted no tenga una licencia de conducir.
The drinking driving charge is a misdemeanor.
El cargo de conducir en estado de ebriedad es un delito menor.
It is punishable by up to 93 days in jail
Conlleva una máxima penalidad posible hasta 93 días de cárcel
and a fine of up to $300.
y una
Ujú.
multa hasta $300.
And if you
Ajá.
had a license, it would restrict it.
Si usted tuviera una licencia, habría restricciones en la licencia.
My advice to you is that you plead not guilty and that I get an attorney to help you with this.
Mi sugerencia para usted es contestar no culpable y le voy a asignar un abogado de oficio que le ayude con este caso.
You get this. Also, my advice is you don't chew gum when you come to court.
Sí, también no puede masticar chicle cuando venga aquí al tribunal.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sí,
Are you agreeable with me appointing a lawyer for you?
¿Está de acuerdo que le asigna un abogado de oficio?
Now, let me say that you can plead guilty if you wish to. I can't stop you from doing that.
Usted puede contestar culpable si quiere, no le puedo
sí,
impedir.
soy
que
culpable.
Yes, I'm guilty.
Sí, yo
I'm
soy
guilty.
culpable de no licencia, de haber manejado. Yo soy culpable.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of driving without a license. I'm guilty of driving and drinking.
Yeah,
Okay,
yo soy
all right, well,
culpable.
let's talk about that.
Vamos a hablar sobre
Ah.
eso.
Both
Sí.
of these are charged as lesser charges than they could have been.
Ambos pusieron cargos de gravedad reducida. Pudieron haber sido más grave.
So that
Mhm.
might be wise to enter a plea and just lock it in at both of these lower charges.
Tal vez es mejor contestar culpable para que
Sí, yo
usted
soy
conteste culpable.
culpable.
Permítame. Tal
Ujú.
vez es mejor contestar culpable a estos dos cargos de gravedad reducida, porque pudiera haber sido peor.
Ajá.
All right,
Sí,
did
yo
any-
soy
did
culpable
it-
de los dos.
Yes, I'm guilty, I'm guilty.
Okay, did anyone threaten you to get you to plead guilty?
¿Alguien le amenazó para que contestara culpable?
No, yo vine voluntario aquí, yo soy culpable.
No,
Nadie me dijo
no.
nada.
All
I
right, did
came
anybody-
here out of my own free will. I'm guilty.
Okay, anybody threaten you to try to get you to plead guilty?
¿Alguien le amenazó para que contestara culpable?
No, yo soy
No.
culpable.
I'm
Michelle,
guilty.
did he get an advice of rights?
Yes.
I have Mr. Hilliard's, I don't have
Oh.
his.
Señor, ¿usted firmó un papel en español que se llama notificación de derechos?
Sí, sí, lo tengo firmado.
Yes, I have it signed.
All right, very good.
Does he have to print his name too?
No. Put your name on there. All right, well, let me ask you a couple questions.
Déjame hacerle algunas preguntas.
Ajá.
Were you driving a truck 11:30 at night on April 5th?
¿Usted estaba manejando una camioneta a las 11:30 de la noche el 5 de abril?
Sí,
Yes.
That was a Friday night. Where were you going?
Eso fue un viernes en la noche. ¿A dónde iba?
para mi casa.
I was heading home.
And you live in Sturgis?
¿Y usted vive en
Sí.
Sturgis? Yes.
Sí,
And
Yeah.
what were you drinking?
¿Y qué es lo que tomaba o había tomado?
cerveza.
Beer.
What kind?
¿De qué marca?
Balay.
Bud Light.
How many do you think you had?
¿Cuántas cervezas piensa que había tomado?
12, 24 onzas.
2 24-ounce ones.
Where did you drink it?
¿En dónde lo consumió?
En la casa de un amigo.
At my friend's house.
Does he live near where you work?
¿Él vive cerca donde usted trabaja?
Como vive ¿cómo se llama? En Tres Ríos, como media hora.
He
No,
lives in Three Rivers,
sí,
like half an hour away.
We had a gentleman walk in with an open warrant. Jail apparently told him to come and turn himself in at the courthouse. I said, you need to turn yourself in at the jail since it's an assault of no bond.
Well, he's here. We'll deal with it.
Okay, you want me to send him in?
Yeah, please. They gave you a breath test
Le hicieron una prueba de aliento.
Sí,
and the
Yes.
result was 0.152.
Y el resultado salió .152.
ajá,
You accept
Uh-huh.
that?
¿Usted acepta ese valor?
sí,
Yes.
That's more than 4 Bud Lights. I do my own. It's more than 4 Bud Lights.
Es más de 4 Bud Light.
sí.
Did you drink
Yes.
something else?
¿Usted tomó alguna otra cosa?
No, solo estuve platicando con mis amigos, estuvimos tomando y más o menos como 4 o 5, que vienen siendo 4 o 5 balais de las pequeñas, póngale 6, porque estábamos
Well,
tomando cervezas.
I was talking with my friends and I drank maybe 4 or 5 of the 12 ounces small Bud Light. Maybe 6.
No las conté.
I
Okay,
didn't keep
plus
track of the number.
Well, will you accept your blood alcohol was 0.152?
Pero puede aceptar que la concentración de alcohol en la sangre estaba a .152.
Sí, sí, yo la
Yes.
acepto.
Yes, I accept it.
Whose truck were you driving?
La camioneta de quién manejaba usted?
Oh, es mía.
Mine.
Was it a truck or a car?
No,
Es una
carro.
camioneta, un auto.
Es un Ford Focus, es un carrito, no camioneta.
It's a Ford Focus. It's a car. It's not a truck.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license?
¿Tiene usted una licencia de conducir?
Sí,
Yes.
mexicana.
Mexican.
But you don't have a Michigan driver's license.
Pero no tiene
No.
una licencia de Michigan.
No,
How long
No.
have you been living here in
¿Cuánto
Michigan?
cuánto tiempo lleva viviendo aquí en Michigan?
no recuerdo exactamente la fecha, pero como pasado de 2 años.
I don't remember the exact date, but it's been over 2 years.
Yeah, once you move here, you need to get a Michigan license.
Cuando uno se traslada aquí, uno tiene que obtener una licencia de Michigan.
Ajá,
Ajá.
pues no la tengo.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'll accept your plea.
Voy a aceptar su contestación.
Ajá,
Now, under the law, I have to set this for sentencing on another day.
Bajo la ley, tengo que imponer la condena en otra fecha, una fecha posterior.
Are you missing work right now?
¿Usted está faltando el trabajo ahora mismo?
no,
No.
off today.
They work
¿Cómo?
lots of hours at the farm there.
En ese rancho se trabaja muchas horas.
Sí, de 6 de la mañana a 6 de la tarde.
Yeah, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The cows need attention 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Las vacas necesitan atención 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana.
Sí, las vacas necesitan día y noche de atención.
Yes, day and night they do.
How many hours a week do you work?
¿Cuántas horas a la semana trabaja usted?
12 diarias, son 12, 20. Son 6 días por semana de 12 horas, vienen siendo...
6 days a week, 12 hours a day is like...
Okay, that's a lot. You get 1 day a week off?
¿Y le dan un día libre a la semana?
Sí,
Yes.
Is it always on a Monday?
¿Siempre es un lunes?
no, es
No.
jueves.
It's Thursday.
So it's usually on a Thursday?
Entonces normalmente es un día jueves.
Sí, normalmente yo descanso un día
I'm gonna
jueves.
set this at an odd time. I'm gonna set it for Thursday.
Voy a fijar la fecha en que usted regresa para la imposición de la condena para un jueves,
February
Ajá.
23rd
el 23,
at 10:30.
a las 10:30 de la mañana.
Ajá,
I've accepted your plea to driving while impaired and having no valid license in possession.
He aceptado su contestación de culpable a conducir
Sí.
con las facultades disminuidas y no tener una licencia encima.
ajá, sí.
Okay, yes.
I've set the matter for sentencing for Thursday, May 23rd at 10:30.
La imposición de la condena será el 23 de mayo a las 10:30 de la mañana.
Ajá, está bien.
You signed the advice of rights advising that you were giving up your right to have an attorney represent you in this matter and have a trial.
Usted firmó la notificación de derechos en el cual usted reconoce que renuncia a su derecho de tener un abogado que le representa y usted renuncia a su derecho de llevar el caso a juicio.
And that is in Spanish.
Y está en español.
Vivian, do you know
Es
if
que
you're
me
available?
equivoqué.
I made a mistake. I made a
I
mistake.
understand. I respect your willingness to accept responsibility for this.
Entiendo y reconozco su aceptación de responsabilidad en este caso. Yes, Your Honor, the interpreter is available on that date and time.
All right, once you pencil that in, they'll probably be getting a hold of you, but we'll do it at that time.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to take this form out to the counter
Le voy a pedir que lleve este formulario a la ventanilla.
And they will give you more
Ajá.
information about when to come back for the sentencing and what you need to do.
Le van a dar mayor información sobre la imposición de la condena y qué es lo que tiene que hacer antes.
Ajá, está bien.
Very
Okay,
good. Do you
that's
have any
fine.
questions?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta?
No, no más venía.
This is the time of year they're emptying the holding tanks at the farm.
Esto es la temporada en donde están vaciando los tanques en el rancho.
Every night on the way home
Sí.
from work, I get stuck behind a manure truck.
Sí,
Cada noche de camino a mi casa me quedo como atorada detrás de una camioneta con los excrementos de vaca.
All right, you're good to go.
Ya se puede retirar.
Go with the court
Okay, está bien.
officer.
Que acompaña al oficial.
Thank you, Vivian. You probably don't have to translate manure truck too much, but I'm sorry about that.
I just had to find a way around it, so I just had to use cow excrement.
That's a good description. Anyway, it's stinky and I get stuck behind it every night, but at least in the spring. I will see you on the 23rd of May. And
Sounds
thank you
good.
for your
Thank you so
help.
much, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Christie. They left the H out, so it's spelled Christy. And that's why it wasn't where it was supposed to be. But Jenny found it. All right, let's talk to Dalton McLean. We don't have the public defender here.
He's outside the hallway.
Oh, would you ask him? What did you do? Come across I-94 and then try to come down?
I believe, yes, that's exactly what we did. I think we got off 31.
I-94 to 131. You can go another way. You can go down 216 to M40 and get around the
Oh, okay.
construction and schoolcraft. It's gonna be a long summer.
Gotcha. We just had pulled over to the gas station once the construction wouldn't let us go straight anymore and put it in the GPS and it rerouted us to a pretty back way. I do apologize to Your Honor for being late.
Melissa, thank you for waiting. This case has got some background to it. This is an old case. It's a 2022 case. File number is 222088. It's alleged that Dalton McLean and a co-defendant, Leslie Harris, committed a retail fraud at the Walmart store here in St. Joe County. Mr. Marvin did a deferral on Leslie Harris, and she is in that deferral case right now. She's been paying a restitution and she's going to do some community work service hours.
Yeah, I see that, April 9th.
So that was just before I left.
I believe he's technically eligible for deferral as well.
All right. Mr. McLean, you're charged with retail fraud in the 3rd degree. That's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. It's alleged that you're in the Walmart store in September of 2022 with Ms. Harris, and you guys stole some items worth about $63, and she ran off and got in your car and took off. And then they caught up with her about 2 years later, and then apparently caught up with you, and you've posted a $300 bond. Did you get stopped somewhere in Berrien County and they found this warrant?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. She with you?
She is currently she's not in the
All
courthouse.
right.
right
Well,
now.
she did come in and make some payments, so tell her to keep doing what she's doing.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Stickley, the chief public defender, was with us, but he left because he had other things to do and you came in late, so we're dealing with this now. Mr. Stickley, this is Dalton James McLean from Watervliet. This is a 2022 retail fraud allegation from the Walmart store in Three Rivers. Recently, the co-defendant, Leslie McLean, was in here And she was offered a deferral from the prosecutor, and she's presently doing the deferral. Ms. Halleck stuck around to help me with this, and she would also offer a deferral to Mr. McLean. So let's talk about that means. You can plead not guilty to this if you wish to. I could appoint an attorney for you. We could set up for further proceedings, including a trial. If you plead guilty, the prosecutor has offered that I defer this matter, that I give you an opportunity to do some community service, pay restitution, not get in any other trouble. If you can do that, the case would be dismissed. There would be no record of a conviction. If you don't, then about 90 days from now, we would do a sentence. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
What would you like to do here?
The deferral sounds excellent, actually.
All right. Anybody threaten you to get you to do this?
No, Your Honor.
Were you in the Walmart store that day in September of 22 with Leslie Harris?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you and she take $63 worth of stuff and then take off?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are you doing now?
I work at Texas Corral in Stevensville and recently reside in Coloma.
And
Yeah,
say what else?
Texas Corral in Stevensville, and I reside in Coloma.
All right, that's where she was.
Yeah.
All right. Are you on probation or parole anywhere?
No, Your Honor.
How did you guys get stopped?
Speeding.
And
I'm
then
going to
some
work.
real bad news, you found out you had a 2-year-old warrant.
Yes.
Well, I set her for sentencing for August 1st. I'm gonna set you for the same date.
That's my birthday.
I'm gonna show that you pled guilty. I'm gonna set for sentencing 8/1 of 24 at 9 a.m. with co-defendant Lisa Harris.
If I could make an inquiry about, is there a specified restitution amount?
She's already paid it.
Okay, so it would be jointly and severally,
Yes.
wouldn't be anything additional on his part?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Let me see what I did on her deferral form. Do you know if she set up for community service?
She had called about it, because she said she had a list from here of places that she could go.
I think Mr. Huff helped her with that.
Yeah, and I knew of some places around the area where I'm from, and she's staying that do community service, and she had called them and was trying to get it set up. Yes, and she's supposed to this week actually.
Well, she's helping you out,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna order identical conditions. But I want to see what I ordered for her. Didn't do the economic crime class. I did 20 hours of community service. Or at Walmart 1 year. That's all Walmart. All right, Mr. McLean, I'm gonna give you this. I want you to go downstairs to the probation department. And Mr. Matt Huff. Laura, I'm out of, nope, you're good to go. Take that downstairs to
Thank you.
probation, get your community service set.